This is a quick look at how to measure resistance, voltage, and current on the Tenma 72-4025 digital multimeter. This is a manual ranging meter where you have to set the range of voltages and resistances and currents that you're going to look at. However, it also has different ports for the different voltage versus current and different levels of current setting. So sort of a combination of the previous two. It's a little bit of an older meter. It's got some slide switches on it. First is to make sure that the slide switch is in DC for direct current mode. And almost all experiments in our textbook will be done using DC mode. It's got a slide switch to turn it on. So let's go look at voltage first. We'll be doing a 1.5 volt battery, so I set it to the 2. Bring in my 1.5 volt AA battery. There's my voltage, 1.588 volts. And as expected, if I go down the range, I get an overload because I'm well over 200 millivolts or 0.2 volts. I'm less than 2 volts, so I get a nice reading. I always want to use, again, the lowest range that gives me a reading. If I go up, I'll still get a reading, but with less accuracy. I lose a digit. I only get 1.58 volts. If I go up to the 200 volt range, it tells me again about 1.7, 1.8 volts. Not terribly accurate. At this highest range, this meter actually goes up to 600 volts. It's telling me it's somewhere near 1 volt. So that's all the range it has. Let's backtrack and measure resistance for a moment. So I'm going to turn the meter off, disconnect from the battery leads, and put in the resistor. Again, this is the 10 kilo ohm resistor from the kit. We're going to move ourselves over to resistance mode. Knowing that it's a 10K resistor, I'll put it in 20K because it's just under 20K. And I check that, yes, ohms also. I keep the red plug in the type of measurement I'm going to do, which in this case is ohms, and the black in the common. DC again, turn it on. This is a surprise. I'm not getting a reasonable reading. There we go. Which is typical of these really old meters. They have a little bit of stickiness, and you got to be careful you know what you're looking for at first. If you got a meter that does this sort of thing, it's probably a good idea not to use it and to find a different one. Let's proceed ahead carefully just to show you how this meter works and look at current. So for current, we'll go to off. We're going to swap the probes. Now we have to swap the probes because current is over here, the milliamps. We break our circuit and complete it through the meter. And I immediately get a beep. The beep is telling me that I'm trying to measure resistance, but I've configured my probes for current. I'm not going to be too alarmed at it. Let's try the 20 milliamp range. And there we go, 0.15 milliamps, which is 1.5 volts divided by 10 kilo ohms. If I go up a level, I really lose all my accuracy. So here's, again, the old Tenma 724025 manual ranging multimeter. Lots of functionality, but it's gotten a little bit beat up over time. You should be a little bit careful when you use it.